I used to believe that love could wait, that if something was real, truly real, it would survive time, distance, and silence. But life has a cruel way of teaching you what love actually is and what it definitely is not. My name is Aiden, and this is the story of how I came home from war, only to realize the war had already been lost. I left for deployment when I was 24, young enough to still believe in forever, old enough to know the world could break a person. Before I left, she held my face in her hands and said, "I'll wait for you, Aiden, however long it takes." Her name was Emily, and for years, her voice was the only thing keeping me grounded while everything around me burned. There were nights overseas when the sky glowed with fire, nights when the air shook from explosions, and the only thing louder than the chaos was my heartbeat. I carried her letters in my vest, creased, stained, worn, as if her words could physically protect me. And in a way, they did. But time changes everything, even promises. At first, she wrote every day, then every week, then once a month. Until eventually, nothing. But I told myself she was busy, stressed, overwhelmed. I created excuses for her silence, because that was easier than facing the truth. When my deployment ended, I didn't tell her I was coming back. I thought surprising her would be romantic, a cinematic moment. Me stepping through the doorway, her eyes filling with tears, us collapsing into each other like we were never apart. I held on to that fantasy the entire flight home. I should have prepared for reality instead. When I walked up to her house, everything looked the same. The porch light, the old swing, the faded welcome mat. But there was a car in the driveway I didn't recognize. A pair of work boots by the door that weren't mine. I knocked. She answered. And the look on her face, it wasn't joy. It wasn't shock. It was guilt. Deep, unmistakable guilt. "Aiden, I didn't know you were coming home this soon," she said. I tried to smile. I wanted to surprise you. Her eyes drifted behind her, and that's when I saw him. A man walking through our living room, barefoot, comfortable, at home. His voice carried like he lived there. "Em, what's going on?" Em. He called her Em, a nickname I gave her. Then I heard something even worse. She didn't correct him. She didn't step away. She didn't reach for me. She just froze. And in that silence, everything answered itself. She tried to explain how she was lonely, how she didn't know if I'd come back, how life kept moving forward and she couldn't stay still. But here's the thing. I never asked her to pause her life. I just thought I was part of it. Turns out, I was just a chapter, a temporary page she had already turned. I should have yelled. I should have demanded answers. I should have cried. But war changes you. Pain doesn't scream anymore. It sinks. Low. Quiet. Heavy. So I just nodded. "Take care of yourself," I said. And I walked away. Not because I was strong, but because if I stayed another second, I would have shattered. The hardest part wasn't losing her. It was realizing what I lost myself for. I spent years fighting to come home to someone who stopped thinking about me long before I even left. I survived war, but I didn't survive her. But life didn't end there. It never ends where the pain begins. I rebuilt, slowly, quietly, one morning at a time. And one day, I woke up and realized I wasn't angry anymore. Not at her, not at him, not at life. Because pain doesn't stay forever. It teaches. It sharpens. It clears the smoke so you can finally see yourself again. I learned something. Someone leaving does not mean you were not worth staying for. It only means they couldn't meet you at the depth where your love lived. And that's not your failure. That's their limit. So if you're listening to this, if you've ever given your heart to someone who didn't know how to hold it, please hear me. You were always enough. They just weren't ready.